Good morning. So we've got another ride video. It's 7 AM on a Saturday and currently cycling down to Marlow. So I got an email from the Marlow Riders asking whether I wanted to come and join one of their early morning Saturday rides. They've got an event happening later in the year, or actually in about 3-4 weeks. First weekend of September is the Marlow Red Kite 100, which is something that I really want to kind of give a bit of focus to in terms of my own training and whatnot. They invite me down to join a ride, the Marlow Red Kite. I'll put the link to it below. Guys, it's about 55 miles, just under 100k with the Marlow boys this morning. New group, new ride. Got to go through all of that again, meeting new people, but I'm looking forward to it. Getting in as much riding as possible. Guys, welcome back to the What Life. Let's roll. So if you don't know Marlow, it is a gorgeous little place, like proper gorgeous. Really nice little cafes and coffee stops. Cooper's Coffee on the industrial estate is a great place for cyclists, and it's where I've been heading for a few years. But it's a lovely place. I've never ridden with the Marlow Riders, but they have a really big kind of community of obviously bike riders in the area. We're going to end up finishing at Flat Harry's, which is my local bike shop. So I can grab a coffee there and catch up with those guys, because I might need to steal some tools. Because later today, I am building a new bike, and this bike, unfortunately, I do not have the means to run two bikes at the same time. Can't quite afford it at the moment. I'm gonna have to pull the chain ring, power meter, and cranks off this bike, and the rotors off this bike to build up my other bike. Maybe we'll figure out a way to run two bikes another time, but at the moment I can't. Sorry, I can't afford to do that. This will be my last ride on the T1550 for a while until I can get the means to build up two bikes. Right, I've got to go and do that thing where you meet a new group of cyclists, and I got to hold a camera in my hand when I do it. Just immediately makes me a bit of a cycling wanker. Lean into it, fits the profile. I do always enjoy this because my anxiety always makes me leave a little bit earlier, and then I always end up being kind of early to the meet point. Obviously I've never been here before, so there's always a part of me that's wondering whether I'm getting trolled on the internet by people just telling me to meet them at places early on a Saturday morning. But I hope we're at the right place to meet up with the Marlow Riders. I might not be. So it turns out I was in the wrong place, but I just met Owen, who's told me that they use an app called Teams, and it is so well, literally it's blown my mind how well organised it is, with that lists all the rides, all the days that you can RSVP to, and it's I guess it's like a white labelled app that they've made a page on. Exactly. And it's so, like, honestly, it's just the 30 seconds that I've gone through it, it's so simple, so easy. Yeah. So it has kind of blown my mind, this app, because it's way more organised than anything I've ever seen in my life. Not hugely surprising with the quality of people that we have in the Buckinghamshire area.
Guys, listen up. So we've got
There are 20 odd of us in our pace group. There's 3 different pace groups. It's so well organised. It's literally blown. I mean, it makes sense. I have heard of the Marlow Riders for years and years and years. I just didn't realise it was like app, and it's brilliant. Anyway, 20 odd of us split into groups, so 8 to 10 in our pace group. I don't want to fall off this early. So the Marlow Riders host the Marlow Red Kite ride, which happens in 3 weeks. It's all up in the Chilterns. I did it last year. There's a video on it. I'll tag it above. It was such a good day out. We tried to do 100 miles in a 4-hour rolling time, which I didn't quite manage. Made it 70 and then got my ass kicked by the group. Today we got a 55-mile ride out towards Henley, loop back round, couple of hills. Oh, right, let's go ride our bikes. It's a lot of fun. So These boys, everyone does things differently, guys. There's nothing wrong with asking what the form is or what to do. These guys are doing a rolling chain gang, so a bit more of a Chris Miller chop, but it's not that aggressive. It's quite nice, it's quite calm. A little bit different to what I've done before, but I think that's just what happens with cycling. Everyone has their own way of doing things. So rolling chain gang, soft pedal at the front when you pull in, which is fine, and it does make it a little bit nicer, a little bit more enjoyable rather than a hard chop. God, Chris Miller's got me saying it now. Henley, baby. I think we've done the hilly bit now, so should be a good chance to get back in, do some rolling chainies. One of the boys had a flat, which is all good, all sorted. Kind of waiting for the sunshine to come out. As inconvenient as flats and changing a tyre are, they're quite nice. It gives you a chance to chat to people and just, you know, laugh and chat about cycling. Chat about people's bikes. It's been really nice. I'm enjoying it. Good group. Different to my normal ride, but I'll explain about that a bit later. I haven't been over a toll bridge before, or in a while anyway. Is this the Thames?
Yeah. Pangbourne.
Pangbourne toll bridge. Who even knew it existed? Cruising into Pangbourne now. Should turn all nice and flat. The UK roads are taking a bit of a battering this year. Right, let me give you an update. From a training perspective, it's not been hard. Nice, a pushy ride. Nothing too aggressive. So if you were thinking about popping down to Marlow Riders, just know that it's not smashy smash. It's not do or die. It's not last man standing. It's fun. It's nice. Chainies are my absolute favourite. I don't know why. Just rolling chainies. I love them. Just a lot of fun. If you've never done one, it's weird. We don't do it with my riding groups, just mates going out for rides. We usually do 2-ups, pulls at the front. Rolling chainies are absolutely the best thing on the planet. Just very cool. Got to pay a lot of attention. All you do is last, clear, last, clear. It's brilliant. I love it. And if you haven't done one, just email the Marlow guys, come down, do a ride with them, because it's not aggressive. It's not like an aggressive chainy. It's not a hard chop, Chris, but it's nice, it's fun. Dial in your skills. Rolling down the hill to finish this one off. 100k for me so far today. Some proper club cafe ride rules. Well, I don't think I was meant to do it, but a little dig in the last few k just to try and get up front, put some watts down and enjoy it. It's a Saturday morning after all. This has been lovely. This has been really, really good. Really enjoyed riding with the guys. One of the nicest things is that it's organised. but it's not super intense. So you're doing a rolling chop, you know, rolling chain gang. So you're always paying attention, moving through. Because the pace is a little bit lower, it ends up being a little bit kind of like stop-starty, you know, a little bit stringy, but that's fine. It means that there's no pressure. If you lose a couple of wheels and you're trying to kick, keep it nice and smooth and you'll catch them, because it's not super fast, not super hard. Which is what's made it so great. Riding with my mates is a lot of fun because we go out on rides and someone turns it into a bit of a smash fest. This is a lot of fun because you keep your routine, you keep it at a nice pace, it's organised, lots of communication. I've really enjoyed it. And now we get tea and coffee and cake at Flat Harry's. It's a proper tea and cake ride now. So just to be clear, so I'm actually going to give you a rundown on my bike because I need to swap some components off of it, so I'm not going to be riding it for a while. I'm going to give you a full rundown on that. This is great. Some people do different routes or different length of routes, and we all congregate, or they all congregate at a finish point. It's not always here, it can be a different cafe. So you get loads of different ride options, ride speeds, ride groups, and then you all end up at the same place for a little debrief. This is perhaps the best bit of the entire thing. Coffee, cake, sausage rolls, £6. Perfect, lovely. Brilliant ride, brilliant bit of cake. And we've got Chris here serving up. What's this? What are we having?
This is ricotta and pear. So it's all Italian, it's all made in Italy, and then Michele, through his network, brings over the Italian amazing foods. So we have torta della nonna, we have chocolate and coconut torte, and then we have ricotta and pear. And they're all just classic Italian desserts.
This is, I mean, I probably haven't said this before, but the cafe at Flat Harry's, he knows his onions when it comes to coffee and now apparently when it comes to cake. I can't tell you how much fun that actually was. Like real low pressure, fun, enjoyable group of guys who are pretty organised in terms of just rolling through on turns, and a good 100k morning. So 2 thumbs up to the Marlow Riders. Also guys, I'll drop a link down below if you want to do the Marlow Red Kite Chilterns ride, who they organise a big charity event. Please do come join. It's the first weekend of September, Sunday, September 1st. More info in the description. Anyway, this is the last ride I'm doing on the T1550 because I need to pull some of the components to put onto my new build. Let me give you a quick rundown. This is a full use review of the 1550. I've loved riding this bike. Okay, first and foremost guys, a new bike is a new bike. It's a lot of fun. You know, I've got on really well with it. The one thing that I do really like about it is the handling. I've got the 380 or the 38 bars. Just, it makes it, I've had no point where I felt nervous or anything like that. I felt so comfortable on it, which I can't say for every bike that I've ridden. I got the same feeling when I was riding the MV Melee. Like the geometry on this, the geometry on the MV Melee just has lent itself to feeling safe and secure, just kind of moving that bike around with the nice narrow bars on this. I think the Melees had 40mm bars, 400mm bars, so we're a little bit wider. So I have gotten really well with the handling of this bike. There's one thing I would change, which with the Gen 2, now that it's a T47 bottom bracket, I don't particularly think, and it is hard to admit that Hambini is 100% correct on this, that a BB86 bottom bracket lends itself to the SRAM dub spindle. I went and rode a Factor the other day, and my God, Factor with a Shimano spindle with a ceramic speed bottom bracket was so buttery smooth. Literally, you'd stand up and you'd fall through the cranks. Like it would just go so nice to the point where I actually came home and took this bike apart to check the bearings on this bottom bracket. I put a token Ninja bottom bracket in this, like a thread together, to a little bit easier to put together. The bearings on it are a bit like jittery now. I think it's part of the problem, you know, the smaller bearing in the BB86, because I'm running the SRAM dub. It's not the worst thing in the world, guys. If you want to ride a bike, you want to enjoy it, then yes, but I am going to replace the bearings in this to see whether it makes any difference. I'm actually probably going to replace the entire bottom bracket and get rid of that token Ninja bottom bracket, because I'm starting to realize that is a part of the bike where you should invest money. And I've gone for a different bottom bracket on my new build. I've had no problems whatsoever with this bike. None whatsoever, other than having to tighten up the bottom bracket once, where I had to take off the chainring and the cranks, just tighten the bottom bracket a little bit because it was making some creaky noises, and then it was gone again. As in it was dead silent and running perfectly. The noise was gone. Other than that, yes, and the seat post. We had a few squeaky seat post things, but that's because I refused to cut it down, which probably would have reduced some of the noise. I've loved riding it, and the more I've ridden it, the more people have come up and been like, oh, I'm thinking about getting one, and not because of, nothing to do with me, just they've seen it and they've seen the brand, and I've been kind of like keen to have a little like chat about it. So it's been such a nice bike to ride, and I am just the simple fact that I'm a little bit sad that I can't run two bikes. You know, woe is me. I can't run two bikes at the same time because I need the cranks and the chainring to go on the other bike, and the discs, the disc rotors, I need to swap those over. So I can't do two bikes at the same time. But hopefully I can try and make something happen. If someone's selling a set of, you know, SRAM dub cranks, then please do let me know. Hello, because we can talk. Maybe we can do a swap suit for some wheels. But it's been so much fun. I'm going to be sorry to see it go. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take the cranks and the chain rings off and the disc rotors off, but everything else is going to stay, including the wheels and tires and things like that. So in theory, you know, the rear cassette will stay. It's not going to take a huge amount to get it back up and running if I want to kind of ride it or race it or take it to an event or something like that. So I'm probably going to try and do a little bit of experimentation with the bottom bracket in this, try and swap that out, find something that's a bit different, and see whether that changes anything. I've got a feeling it will. Guys, invest in your bottom brackets. That's my final word for today. Also, go and join a club ride, because clubs that was a wicked fun. That was a lot of fun. Guys, thanks for joining along. I will see you on another one soon. Bye bye.